Hey, how's it going? Coach Kyle here, and I had a great question from a client of mine this morning in Australia, and he asked, "Is there a breathing technique when running, or does it matter just breathe normal?" And um, I used to be, and I'm not sure. I used to be in the camp that it really just doesn't matter how you breathe when you run. I like to use breath as a rating, as a way to measure perceived exertion. An easy run, an easy level of perceived exertion. Are you breathing almost normally? Can you hold an almost normal conversation? But that's different than actual breathing technique. Like you'll read about, breathing every on a certain step count, or you'll read about nasal breathing, or you can read about breath work. There's a ton of breath work videos on YouTube, and um, I'm not sure if any of that actually matters. But that being said, I am a big fan of nasal breathing for easy runs. Um, I started nasal breathing, running with my mouth closed, a couple years ago when I signed up for an ultra marathon kind of last minute. I only had, I think it was 6 weeks or so to prepare for it. And I decided I didn't have a lot of time, and I wasn't doing a ton of mileage before signing up. So, in an effort to help me safely get my volume up, I started nasal breathing to kind of force myself to slow down during the easy runs. And at first, it was really hard to run with my mouth closed. It almost felt like my mental concentration had to go way up to just focus on keeping my mouth closed. And I was dialing it back. So I was running quite easy, and first flats or downhills, running, other than the mental aspect of it, it was fine. And, on the uphills, I would open my mouth, or I would speed hike basically. And now I'm at the point where I can run at marathon pace with my mouth closed. And when I go out and do a normal run by myself, I'm usually running with my mouth closed. And if you look up oxygen advantage, you can see some really interesting videos about breathing, breath work, and benefits of that. And one of the benefits is that it in the winter, it's winter outside right now. If you're as when I'm recording this, is that nasal breathing keeps your breath the oxygen a little more moist. So if you're one that kind of has lung throat problems in really cold weather, nasal breathing might be something that would benefit you in that regard. Um, does it actually provide any like physiological benefits to make you run faster? I'm really not sure, but I've had a lot of clients who I've found maybe run their easy runs a little moderately hard too often, um, running with their mouth closed. One runner in Texas in particular comes to mind. She loved it, and often you find that when you slow down your easy runs a little bit, and with her, I had her start practicing nasal breathing. Um, she felt better during her runs. She could run farther. She recovered better. And I'm not saying like the nasal breathing was the cause of that, but it was part of the equation to help her slow down and do her easy runs easier. So, um, now I habitually breathe through my nose. There's there's multiple potential benefits out there from it, and again, I'm really not sure if they actually have caused me to run faster. You know, I'm the same. I'm basically the same speed I was now as I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago before I started nasal breathing. Um, so I'm really not sure, but I found that I like doing it, and I found that I have clients that like doing it. And basically, the number one rule in running is if something works for you, it works for you. So that's something to consider, especially if you're somebody who might be running their easy runs a little bit too hard, and you need a way to just kind of force yourself to truly run easy during your easy runs. Nasal breathing can be a fantastic tool. So something to consider for anybody watching this who's curious about nasal breathing, or like this individual, my client in Australia, could help a little bit to kind of dial back the easy running a little bit and keep those easy runs, truly easy and restorative and regenerative, while letting you get the kilometers in. So, questions or comments, just ask. And as always, you keep running, I'll keep coaching.